Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing a deep dive into a true retelling of history. And I don't just mean memorizing dates and pointing at maps. We are stepping into a massive, sweeping story filled with ancient spirits, legendary monarchs, and absolutely breathtaking landscapes. So let's just jump right in, starting at the very foundation of the continent's unbreakable soul.
Deep within the sun-drenched heart of this continent stands the Baobab. You've probably seen it. It's known as the Tree of Life. The elders actually call it the upturned tree. And legend says the gods planted it upside down to keep its proud branches from touching the heavens. Imagine just standing beneath its massive shadow at twilight. If you were to press your ear against its rough bark, you wouldn't hear the wind. You'd hear a heavy, ancient pulse. It's like the heartbeat of Africa itself, echoing the forgotten stories we're about to retell.
Now, before the rivers even carved their paths, there was only darkness and primordial water. The supreme creators looked at this completely empty canvas and, well, they breathed life right into the silence. In the West, the myth tells of Olodumare. He sent sky gods down with a shell of earth, a golden chain, and a five-toed hen to scatter soil and literally form the mountains and plains. Meanwhile, down in the South, the story goes that the Great Spirit shattered a cosmic egg, unleashing this blinding storm of stars. And with that, every single stone and river bend was born with its own silent guardian spirit.
And among these guardians, very few command as much respect as Nyame. Picture this, a revered river god with the body of a serpent and the head of a fish, ruling the deep, churning currents of the Zambezi River. For centuries, people offered grain and song to this living entity just to guarantee safe passage. But here's where it gets crazy. When modern hands tried to tame that river by building these enormous concrete walls, the earth shook. We're talking unprecedented floods. The concrete literally cracked. It's a stark reminder that the ancient spirits of the land demand respect. Sure, they can be challenged by modern engineering, but they can never truly be tamed.
So, as humans were shaped from the river mud and savanna dust, the gods left tests for them all across the landscape. Enter Anansi. He's the clever spider and the ultimate trickster of mythology. Now, Anansi didn't have the brute strength of an elephant or the blistering speed of a cheetah. Instead, he spun webs of deception. He even managed to trick the sky god to win all the stories of the world for humanity. It's a brilliant mini-narrative that teaches us a fundamental lesson. To survive in the unforgiving wilderness, you need intellect, adaptability, and cunning way more than you just need raw muscle.
And speaking of survival, early people had to move in perfect harmony with nature's fierce rhythms. When the dry season comes and cracks the earth like broken glass, it triggers the Great Migration. Just imagine an eternal march of millions of hooves. You have wildebeests, zebras, and gazelles, all moving as a single massive wave toward distant promised rains. And trailing just behind them, right in the shadows, are the apex predators, lions with manes like fire, and leopards moving like smoke. It's this continuous, intense cycle of life and death where absolutely nothing is wasted, and a cosmic equilibrium is perfectly maintained. Eventually, though, nomadic tribes began to put down permanent roots, guided by the wealth of the earth. Hidden among the misty valleys in the south lies one of the most astonishing examples of this, Great Zimbabwe, or the House of Stones. Now, this wasn't just a city of mud and wood. The builders stacked massive, perfectly cut granite stones high into towering walls, and incredibly, they did the whole thing without a single drop of mortar. No way, right? But it stood as a magnificent, thriving metropolis that actually baffled foreign travelers for centuries. Let's break down what made Great Zimbabwe so powerful. This civilization grew insanely wealthy by trading gold, ivory, and precious beads. They established trade networks that stretched all the way across the Indian Ocean to Asia and Arabia. But what's truly captivating here is that despite all this immense wealth, they remained deeply tethered to the earth and the spiritual world. They carved these intricate soapstone bird spirits to stand guard over the high walls. These acted as a constant bridge connecting the mortal rulers down below with the ancestors watching from above. Sweeping over to the bends of the Niger River,
we witnessed the rise of another golden age. This is where the Mali Empire arose. Now, this was a realm of magic, but a magic born of scholar kings, vast libraries, and absolute mountains of glittering gold. It was so vast and so prosperous that the very name Mali basically became synonymous with paradise for medieval mapmakers. And right at the center of this paradise stood a ruler named Mansa Musa.
10. That is the number of years the value of gold plummeted in certain regions. Why? Because when Mansa Musa embarked on his legendary pilgrimage across the desert, he brought thousands of camels laden with pure gold. He distributed this wealth so generously to the poor along his route that he single-handedly crashed the regional economy and devalued gold for over a decade. I mean, the sheer scale of his wealth is almost incomprehensible. To put it in perspective, he was basically a walking economic stimulus package that was just a bit too effective.
But here's the thing. Mansa Musa's true legacy wasn't actually the gold he gave away. It was the knowledge he brought back. Just look at the transformation of Timbuktu. Under his vision, it evolved from a simple desert oasis into a world-renowned center of learning. Universities flourished. Thousands upon thousands of manuscripts detailing science, astronomy, and philosophy were written, studied, and preserved right there. It became a true beacon of global intellect.
Of course, the story of this continent isn't just written in wealth and architecture. It is forged in fierce resilience. Enter Queen Nzinga of Angola. She was a brilliant warrior queen who faced down the encroaching tide of foreign invaders looking to enslave her people. There's this one incredible story where, during a critical peace negotiation, foreign diplomats tried a psychological tactic to demean her. They deliberately refused to offer her a chair, fully expecting her to just stand there in submission.
And here's the brilliant punchline to that encounter. Queen Nzinga didn't complain. She didn't storm out. Instead, she just gestured to one of her loyal attendants, who immediately dropped to all fours to create a human throne. Seated perfectly level with the foreign governor, she negotiated as an absolute equal. It's a real game changer of a moment. The crucial takeaway here is that she proved true sovereignty cannot be granted or taken away by a simple chair. It's carried in your blood and your spirit.
Beyond the clash of these mighty empires lies a place where time itself seems to just stand still. To the north is the Sahara Desert. It's a colossal ocean of shifting sand, blinding light, and absolute silence. For thousands of years, the Sahara has acted as a barrier, a graveyard, and a sanctuary, all at once.
Yet, even in this deadly expanse, humans have found a way to thrive. The Tuareg, often known as the blue people of the desert, walk these burning dunes. They wear these striking indigo robes that actually stain their skin, moving almost like ghosts across the sand. And they don't use roads, they navigate using the ancient map of the night sky. You see, to the Tuareg, the desert isn't an empty void. It's a living beast that breathes in the sandstorms. By understanding and respecting it, they find ultimate freedom, far away from the noise of the modern world. Out there where the stars feel close enough to just reach out and touch. Now contrast that blinding light with what happens as we move south, straight into the beating heart of the wilderness. The golden grasslands give way to the Congo Basin. This is a world of thick, emerald twilight. The canopy here is so incredibly dense that the sun rarely even kisses the forest floor. It's a realm of perpetual mist, hidden rivers, and profound ancient mysteries, all wrapped in the heavy scent of damp earth and blooming orchids. The Congo is just teeming with secrets. It's home to silent, gray forest elephants and the really elusive okapi. If you haven't seen one, it's a beautiful creature that kind of looks like a cross between a zebra and a deer. For the people living in this basin, the forest is deeply sacred. Every single leaf is seen as a potential remedy, and every animal is a messenger from the spirit world. The forest is viewed as a highly protective mother who provides everything necessary for life, but she demands absolute respect in return. To live in harmony with her is to unlock ultimate peace. So as we pull back and look at all these diverse landscapes, from the burning northern sands to the misty central jungles, one unbroken truth really emerges. Africa is not just a geographical place on a map. It is a living, breathing emotion. It's an untamed spirit that simply refuses to be conquered. This untamed spirit is like a melody played on the strings of time, proving that this retelling of history remains vibrantly alive today. You hear it in the thunderous roar of a lion shaking the savanna at dawn. You see it in the graceful, peaceful stride of Maasai warriors walking through the tall grass, perfectly at ease among apex predators. And you feel it in the rhythmic pounding of evening drums. It's a physical heartbeat connecting the living directly to ancestors who walked that exact same earth thousands of years ago. The story isn't just stuck in textbooks. It lives on in the laughter of children and the resilience of the people.
And so as the sun begins its slow descent, painting the horizon in fiery orange and deep gold, our explainer brings us full circle. We return to the Great Baobab. While empires have crumbled to dust and rivers have shifted their paths entirely, this sacred tree remains unyielding against the fading light. It holds the memories of everything we've just explored deep within its ancient rings, quietly guarding the secrets of the gods and the dreams of humanity.
As the first stars blink into existence, casting their glow over this vast continent, the wind whispers through the branches one last time. It's a powerful reminder of an eternal strength, and it leaves us with this thought. As time marches on, what new stories will the Baobab witness in its next 1,000 lifetimes? Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through time. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.